Hi friends, in the last lecture we have discussed about our project, what we are going to do. And in this, while implementing this project, we will learn all the concepts of Spring. First, I am going to implement a get users. I am gonna create a new class, which is users class, user, and it will be under model. It's a model, okay? Under user, I'm going to keep as implements because we are going to serialize and deserialize. So I'll implement serializable interface and I will add serial version ID. Next, I'm going to put attributes. All the attributes are private, integer, ID, private, string, name, username, private, string, address, private, string, age. It age is in date format. Let me create a date format. Date. I'm importing from java.util package. Age. I'm going to create getters and setters using source. I'll be creating getters and setters. To print in normal format instead of hash code also, I'm going to override a toString method. ToString method I have override. And I'm going to, that's all. User service, user bean, and user model having all the attributes. And I'll be creating one repository. Repository will create the repository, will create the user. It gets the user, it gets the specific user, it deletes the user. I'll keep in the repository repo, user repo. I call it as user repo. Okay. This I'll make it as a repository because it interacts with the user, and future we are going to interact with the database. As of now, we are going to hardcode the details. First is get the user. To get the user, I need to have all the user objects. I'm going to create. I'm hard coding now. Users, new users, new array list. I'm importing user object, user model. I'm going to keep a static block. Static block, I will initialize it. User, user is user1 equal to new user. User1 dot set set id 1, set is new date, address Bangalore, setting from. I have set it, and I will add this to list, user to list of users. Add user. I have added the user one. I'm going to add two more users. Here I'll make it as user two, user two, user two. I'm adding it to the list, and now the ID is two. New date, address is the Hyderabad, Hyderabad. This is Krishna, Krishna. Next I'm going to add one more user, user three, user three, three users. He is also in Pune. His name is Dev. I have added all the users. This repo is going to have some functionalities like return the users, list user, and get users. Here I am going to return users. Next, one more function I'm going to implement. Get user, specific user. Here we'll have int id. For for user users, I'll iterate all the users. I will check matching user. If user dot get id, user dot get id double equals to id, then I will return the user. Okay. Yes, yeah. What the problem? Oh, I'm returning list of users. It shouldn't be. It is a single user. Add return statement. Okay. In case of if it is not matching with anybody, return null. It's not matching with any of the user. Public and save or create. Let me make it as a create. Here, create. Creating the user, user, and we'll return the user after creating user. Create and list users dot. Before adding user dot, let me set it. User dot set id. Before setting it, I need an argument. I set 3, right? I am creating one constant here. Yeah, I'll create a constant here instead of that I'll use this list users dot get users dot size. I will take the size and I increment it. I'm setting the size and I will be adding this user to users list. Add user and return the user. Simple guys. I have created a users list and in static block. As of now, in future we are going to interact with the database. From database we will save it, and from database we will get the users. I just hardcode it. It is static data. And in static block, I have initialized users with the values, list of users, 3 users we have. And I have implemented one getter method to get all the list of users. You go to helpme.md, get all users. This is what happening here. Get all the users. All the users will get specific user. Get specific user. I'm going to get a specific user here. One method is create. Create. Create user. I'll go to update user and delete it. Next, I'm going to implement delete public. In case of delete, I don't return anything. I don't return anything. It's success. Yeah. Void delete. Delete. Delete takes the ID. Which user we wanted to delete? ID. I'm gonna delete it from if users user user users users user. This we have another problem. Create constant user. No, for loop. Sorry, should be in for loop. Users user. If user dot get id double equals to id, then I'll remove from the list. Users dot remove of user. I'm removing the user. Next, I'll be implementing this may catch update id to whom we are updating. We go to here, we have put method. Put method takes the id and user object. User. This is the user. Then I'll make it as user existing users. If it matches, then I will take the data from here, or we'll implement this for this static. This may not be useful when we are going to Hibernate. We will implement. For now, we have created a repo having all the static data and returns the list of users, returns the specific user, create the user, delete the user. And we need one controller. REST controller we need. Why we need REST controller? We need to map this. We need to map the URIs. We need to keep the HTTP methods. Now I'm going to create a new class under controller package, user controller. I'm going to make it as REST controller because Spring knows, if you annotate with REST controller, then only Spring knows this is a REST controller and it returns JSON data. It accepts HTTP methods, and it will get the HTTP request and HTTP response. All those we will get it. We have to declare it as the component as a REST controller, and we are going to implement first get method. Get method public list users. We are going to return get users, and we have, guys, remember it. We have declared repo, and we have annotated as a repo, and we marked it as a Spring component. So we need to inject. If we inject, then automatically user repo object will be created and it will be injected here. Object will be present here. You don't need to initialize manually. You don't have to create manually. User repo, user repo. From user repo we need, right? User repo dot user repo dot get all users, and this HTTP method type is, see here, HTTP method is to get a resource. We need to have get method. HTTP method is get method. As we discussed, we can give directly get mapping, and we need a path URI. Path. Path is what? Slash users. We'll get all the users. Return. We are going to return list of users. Control Shift F, Control Shift F, save it. And I'll implement one more method. Get a specific user. User slash ID. ID. Here user, get user, not users. Okay, I'm getting a specific user. Here int ID, and it is a path variable. Remember it, guys. Remember this. This is a path variable. If you see, go to the hello world controller, we have similar. This is a path variable. Greeting is a path variable. We have declared it. Okay, we have to annotate now as a path variable. Path variable, and we have to make a get user call, not get users, and pass the ID. Pass the ID, and it returns specific user, not list of users. Guys, remember these things. I have marked as a REST controller, so that Spring scans this controller and it will store these path variables like paths into the memory of the dispatcher servlet. Whenever request comes, first request goes to dispatcher servlet, and it checks what is the path. Based on the path, it makes the call to particular method. It internally make the call, and it returns the list of users. Dispatcher servlet will convert. Guys, this is a REST controller, so dispatcher servlet will convert this Java object to JSON object. I'm going to start this application. Run as Spring Boot app or run as Java app. Run as Java app. Run as Java app. Okay, I'm going to run it. Started. Okay, started now. What is the path to get all the users? Just specify the users. Get method and click on send. We'll get list of users. See the guys, we are getting the list of users. We got the first user, second user, third user. I think here we have not changed the ID. Let me change it. User repo. Under user repo, I'm going to change the ID here. 3. Let me check it. Send. And it restarted. Okay, I don't want this debug statements. Okay, I'm going to remove this debug property from here, or I'll comment it. Okay, I removed it, and I'm starting this one. Run as Java application. Now I am going to run as a Java application. Both are same, no difference. You can run as a Java application or you can run as Spring Boot application. No difference. Both are same. Started. Send. We got the user list of users. All three users we got it. Now I wanted to get a specific user. User slash one. I got the specific user. So what will happen, guys? When you make API call, API returns. API means REST API. Okay, REST API returns the data, or REST API creates the data into the database, and it updates the data into the database. And this data they will take it. UI developers or Angular, they use front-end technologies, Angular, React, React, EXJS, jQuery, lot of things. We use React.js. There are multiple frameworks are there, and they use those client frameworks. Is a yeah, they use those frameworks, JavaScript framework, and they take the data and they display it in the UI. Our responsibility is to develop the backend APIs. We got these things. Okay. Yeah, in the controller I created only two methods. In the next lecture we will go through how to create the user, how to delete the user, how to update the user. Okay, thank you guys.